Even though I was in another country this time last week, I heard it was shambolic.
Yep.
And all roads lead to Brownless.
You heard that?
Apparently he was.
Don't point at me.
Apparently he was
Career
still
worst.
under.
Yeah.
He'd had his guts operated on a week earlier, and the bloody anaesthetic hadn't worn off.
And my horse didn't win.
The horse didn't win.
Under the
I'm
influence.
getting to what else you bloody attempted to do
Under
during
the
that
influence.
show. Under the influence, no doubt about it. Damo trying to keep the ship rolling
no
in the
good.
right direction.
And I'm funny again too, Jim, because you
funny
think I'm
again.
hugely funny.
No, that's it.
And,
No, you weren't.
and get
Bernard,
to
No,
him.
don't point at
don't
me.
you start.
Stop pointing at me.
You were the worst last week.
You
Was
were
I
the worst.
You were
worst on?
poor.
Right. We
Did you
can't
hear what
talk
happened?
about that.
I heard he had tape over
Not
his
worst
camera.
on.
You had tape over your camera.
Not tape. It
What
was
was
a
it?
little sliding thing over my camera. The techs couldn't work it out. I'm not a tech.
No, you're not.
No, you said I can't see you guys today, and then
No.
43 minutes into the show, you realised that there was tape over the camera.
And I didn't realise that.
So
Someone
fat-
else came in.
I'm minding my own business.
Jim, hang on.
I'm minding my own
Dylan Moore,
business.
Lord Meek,
Why are you going through the names?
Or Lloyd.
Oh, Fat's
because
doing
special comments.
Lord,
I'm
he's called him.
Lord
Meek.
Lloyd will do.
I might be a bit blasé today
Blasé.
during the rub because I'm studying for a special comment.
It's led back to me
Kick-ins. Carl Amon does the kick-ins for
the
Hawthorn.
six senses in
No, he
the
doesn't.
Maldives that you, in the lead into the Saturday rub last week. Now, every now and then I think, well, Fat's stupid enough to have done that. But this one, I thought to myself, this is actually not possible.
You thought self?
That you are bidding on a house
Yep.
at auction
Yep.
Well,
This
Oscar,
happened.
Oscar was.
without having any finance sorted out.
No.
So even if you won the bid, you weren't able to finish the transaction because you had no money.
No deposit either.
I would have found some.
No,
No,
Bill,
no,
you
you
have
can't
to
do it.
have it on you.
It doesn't work that way
We're
anymore,
handing
Bill.
the check.
You do.
If it's a Saturday, you
there's
get till
no
Monday.
No, you don't.
finance.
You get
At
to
an
Monday.
auction,
No, you don't.
you've
Yes.
got to present your deposit
Up
check
front.
right there and then.
You know, I would have wrote out a check.
Oh,
And
from here,
yeah, and
What,
taken
and
it back after the...
pigeoned it to Oscar somehow.
Well, I just hang around, mate. I'm finished at 1:30. I would have been there at 1:45.
It's actually
Give him the
illegal.
check.
Yeah, exactly
And
right.
he can't put the check in the bank till Monday.
Bill,
and there's no money
you
there.
have to have your money at an auction.
It's actually illegal.
It's
not to have a
illegal to
deposit.
do that.
Unless
That's
you've a pre-auction condition.
Oh, you're-
Unless
Pre-approval
you've-
vote.
Yeah.
Which you
Chatting
have
So
to.
you're
all
an
and said-
auctioneer, eh? And a real estate man.
Well, no, but
No,
I
no.
know everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think
You
that's
buy a
right.
house at auction, Fat, your money has to be there at the drop of the hammer.
Correct.
No,
Unless
it
you've
does. That is
organised it,
correct.
which didn't,
And
which
you
doesn't
hadn't.
seem like you
And
didn't.
sometimes you can only pay 5% if you want it.
Oh,
So-
sometimes.
Yes.
Like, just if you choose.
Anyway, it didn't happen.
Did you get nervous when the auctioneer took your bid into the vendor?
with no money.
Bloody hope I thought this is a bit of fun, and then he went in and then what were
Opened
we?
the auction up again.
1.175.
Hey,
This all happened, Jim, at 5 to 12.
yeah.
I mean, he normally doesn't prepare anyway, but you should have seen him last week.
But he had the most craft last week as well. So the auction actually, because they went back into the vendor,
Yeah.
it went right up until we're on air. So all his pre-show
Anyway.
craft he was doing, nothing, because he was just so rattled that he just had no
Actually,
idea.
I'm
Owners of
glad I-
houses and auctioneers tend to take that well too.
Yeah.
They run a whole campaign, then run an auction,
Yeah.
and the winning bidder's a clown who hasn't got any money.
And might pay 5% if he
Yeah.
wants.
And Jim, because you do think and you greatly assess my performances as a comedian this year on Dylan and Friends, I'll just remind people
All
of what
right.
you said about me earlier in the year about this.
Oh, this better be going somewhere.
Oh, this this.
Oh, hang on.
Funny.
Sorry,
Oh, good.
this is not working. Okay, there we have it. Another go.
Damo, not only great sort of news.
I like Damo's a lot funnier than people give him
No,
credit for.
hugely
He's
funny.
very smart.
He
and he
gets it.
plays the
Yep.
the role very, very
No,
well.
he totally does.
So,
right,
Jim, it was
so-
left to me to produce the humour last
Good.
week, and then when Bill lost the auction, I then
Yeah.
went with this.
Oh,
You missed out on your apartment today, but I reckon the quiz is going to be an absolute winner. You didn't have the 2.8 million they wanted, so
Only two.
Came runner-up in 4 grand finals, maybe runner-up in a property today.
that was hugely funny.
Hugely funny.
I saved it, Jim. It was going nowhere, that show.
That was good.
was
and I even reckon when we got Isaac Smith on today,
Yeah, we do, a bit
Later.
later. When
he
he's
might have
heading
something
to Bundy.
funny there.
I'll
too, I
work on
reckon.
something funny for him as well, all right?
All right, get something funny up
2
on
weeks
that.
in a row.
I tell you,
You mentioned you pitchforked your sponsors in there at the Maldives. What, six seasons or whatever it is?
No,
Yeah.
6 senses.
Six
No,
seasons.
I wish
6
sponsored.
seasons.
6 seasons.
I wouldn't have the massive black hole in my Visa card
How
if
was
it
it?
was sponsored.
How was it, by the way?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well-
Just
well
give us
looked
a
after.
little
Best
synopsis.
ever. Best ever.
Well looked after
Why?
by Lars, who ran the resort.
Oh, no. Look, I think you're referring to Lawrence.
Lawrence,
He was the head of
Lawrence.
food
I was
and
told it
bev.
was Lars.
Yeah,
But
he
the
was
reason
the
I
head of
raised
food
the
and
name of Lawrence is
Lars.
because he did used to work in Melbourne, Bill, at the Grossi family restaurant, and high end, like the big maitre d', you know,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
one of
After
those,
the
and
joint,
then, and then
big boy.
now running the Maldives resort
yeah.
that Jim was at, and
Big Scottish bloke.
Jim got there, and
Right.
he was quite excited. I've been told, Bill and Byrne, and Rose, because the guy Lawrence was a North Melbourne supporter, and he thought, right, I'm right here.
There we
He's
go.
lived
There
in Melbourne
There
for
we
3
go.
years.
The White Knight.
Ching ching.
Will know who
Well,
I
that
am,
is
and then
true.
it dawned on Jim about
That
2
bit's
days
true.
in that nothing was forthcoming about
Right.
Jim being connected to the North Melbourne Footy Club to the
So?
point where you actually said to him, "Do you know who I am?"
That is completely incorrect.
He did not do that.
What actually
James.
happened?
You
James.
said
He
it's my
spoke
mail.
about- I couldn't believe in the middle of the Maldives I found a North Melbourne supporter, big Scottish bloke.
We can't find
Anyway,
one here.
He
No.
was chatting away about how he went to the footy and how much he loved it, and he was a bloody rugby fan, but he enjoyed all the rest of it. And after about 20 minutes, Lisa's looked at him and said, "You've got no idea who James is." He goes, "No."
He didn't.
He had no clue.
No,
You saved the club, Jim.
didn't you say James Brayshaw? When
No,
you,
no, I didn't.
I heard that.
Funnily enough,
when
I
you
didn't.
booked in,
No.
You heard that,
president,
did you?
Didn't do that either
Why was it so good?
because there were only Northern Europeans there.
What does that mean?
And there was only about 28% occupancy. So most people there were Estonian or Russian or bloody Belarusian or all of that. So
You would have loved it,
got left alone.
but you would have hated it, Bill, because no one would have known who you were either.
We would have gone to Bali or somewhere.
Would you?
Yeah, I would have packed
Just to
up the
make sure
bags.
that you could find
I
someone.
went to the Maldives on my
Legume.
honeymoon.
Yes.
Did you?
Maldives, I kept getting told.
Yeah, it's Maldives.
You've
I
got to
think.
change
Waste of
the-
money, that was.
Now, Bill, you've had that much time off this year. You're almost part-time on Triple M this year.
Yeah.
And word has come across our way
Yes.
that you're off again next week. And I
he's
know this
not.
to be
No,
a
I don't
fact.
believe this.
No,
Because,
he's
Jim,
not.
we received the email last night from you and Giles, the head of football here, and the first line is, this is for the rostering for round 19 next week.
Next week, yeah.
Bill Brownless is having, this is a quote from Ewan, Bill Brownless is having a well-deserved weekend off.
Hang on a minute.
Tongue in cheek.
You've just had a month
5
flying
weeks.
around the
No,
world.
6
5
weeks.
weeks.
Five Saturday rubs.
5 Saturday rubs
No one
you
asked
missed.
you.
And then
Yeah, I did.
moi, who kept the ship bloody on track while you buggered off. Rabs buggered off.
Yes.
Everyone else buggered
Yeah, true.
off. Hose and I were the only
Yeah.
ones back here keeping it actually
Yeah.
going. So we earned a break. And we went and had 2 weeks.
Yes.
And you also had those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I had an operation.
So that's 6.
And then you came back last week, and you may have been on air in physicality, but you weren't actually with us, trying to buy
Mentality.
houses and.
So Purple, get forensic.
Well,
Get Nick
I'm
McKenzie on his
inspired
ass.
by my man Winks, Nick McKenzie.
Get-
am I
get
going?
it and work out what the hell he's doing so that he's not here.
Now, Bill, I
what
just
are you
need to
doing?
start this. I know the answer to this question, so do
well,
not lie to
don't
me.
ask it. Never ask a question you know the answer
Is
to.
there a
Well,
health
always
issue?
ask a question.
Is there any reason we shouldn't talk about this publicly? Is there a health issue or a family reason for you not being here next week?
Has your guts popped out again?
No, we shouldn't talk about it. So
No. Look at me in the eye and be serious.
I think it's a funeral, so we shouldn't talk about it.
No, it's not. Okay.
You think it's a funeral?
Look at his face.
Are you
I think
earning?
it's a
Are you
funeral.
going
Someone
to be
just has to
receiving
No.
an envelope somewhere next week?
Oh, Damien, I'm going out to a country football club.
Oh,
Glad I said that, host. A country football club and helping them out. They're struggling at the minute.
So you're
I might
leaving
even
us in the
play.
lurch again.
Well, sorry,
You might play.
the fixture wasn't out for this round.
I beg your pardon.
The
fixture wasn't out for
They
what
only
round?
had the first 16
The
rounds.
fixture's out for the Saturday rub for the whole year.
Every
it's
Saturday.
12 to 1:30.
You idiot.
That's the fixture.
Saturday doesn't change.
And then
What
I
the
said,
hell's he talking
always
about?
after
I thought
Friday.
this function was a Saturday night, so I
So
said
what?
yes. I'd love to come out and help you out.
Righto.
Run a couple of raffles.
So when it changed from a Saturday night to the Saturday rub time,
yes.
you said, sorry, I can't
I was
come.
already booked in, and they got and they got 250 there. I can't say no.
Yes, you can.
You can.
This is your job.
No, it's not. I'm special comments.
what is
anyway.
it then? What is it if it's not your job?
Oh, it's a part-time fun thing.
Oh, of course it is.
Is that why you're doing special comments today to make up for a shift?
No, they asked me to do it, and I'm getting paid. Now, well done. I know.
What are you on about? You missed 5 Saturday
Yes.
rubs when you flew around the world.
Well,
this
yeah,
is now
I'm
a
not a
6th.
weekender,
And you took 2 weeks off that you shouldn't have. You actually owed them to the company.
Yeah.
and I'm working 2 weeks at the end of the year.
Are you?
Yes,
Are you?
so I don't finish till about December 30 or something and come back in
After
January.
Christmas.
December 30.
No one's on air on
December
December 30.
I'm on air,
You're
apparently.
not.
I'm going through a whole Christmas break on my own.
New Year's
Year's
Eve
Eve
that's
show.
working.
Fireworks.
I am too. I'm on my own. And Matty.
Just
Matty
one
O.
out. Just some
And
music.
Matty O. Matty
Love song dedications.
Exactly. You can ring up, you can dedicate. Now, host, what about, by the way, congratulations
Yes.
to Breakfast Host.
Well done, Rosie.
Yes. Doing breakfast
Well,
with
you've actually-
Daisy
you've
and
done
Will
a
Anderson.
few stints of breakfast in your time, Mo.
Yes, I have. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. And Marty will still be heard at 3 o'clock across the Triple M network
Yes.
with Lauren, Will, and Troy.
Good.
And on podcast form as well. But yeah, Will is back, and Daisy Thomas and I will be looking after breakfast for the next 12 weeks, starting Monday.
Well,
Brad Footy,
6
Rosie,
a.m.
well done.
Better
It'll be fun.
hands.
It'll be great.
She'll be great.
Yeah.
Will Anderson's great as we know, and
Well,
Daisy we're not sure about.
Speaking
Not
of,
after this
Daisy's
weekend.
flying.
My
Exactly. He's having his
God.
bloody reunion.
Yeah.
he's set the
Did you
clock.
see that last night? The
Yeah,
boys
I
out on
did.
the ground. Jeez, a couple of them are just getting into the pants.
And how bold are they?
Wow.
They were spray painted on, a couple of those pairs of trousers.
What about the crew, though? Rough crew.
Oh,
Good fun, though.
yeah, and Daisy, it'll be interesting to see how he is. I'll tell you someone who's cut up rough about the new breakfast crew.
Oh,
Who's that,
really?
Bill?
Especially with Will Anderson being on the crew.
Yeah.
Bloody Rocket Eade.
So is he just not working hard? Right, okay. Okay. Rocket, we can't think. We can't think. Come on. Okay. Come on. Right, okay. Get him off.
That
Will's
is
good. We've
that's
worked with
good.
Will.
Will is fantastic.
Yeah, he is.
that's the lowest hanging fruit that you could possibly pluck from the
How
tree.
he still laugh those years. How is he with it?
Oh my
Oh,
God!
he's dancing around here.
Well
now.
done,
the
Fat.
hell?
Fat is back.
Oh
And that is
my
that.
God! And that is that.
Connor Nash. Who's he?
Oh, we are heading to a break.
Irish, sure to be sure.
Jeremy Cameron's joining us.
Yes.
Jezza.
He was up at 3:30 last night
Why?
watching the golf. He couldn't
Scottish
sleep.
Open.
Oh my God!
Scottish Open.
Hard
Could be
yakka
short.
workwear, more than
Sorry,
just
sorry.
workwear. It's a way of life. Our gear's built tough like the legends who wear it since 1930. Hard yakka, nothing stuffer. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. We've got Jeremy Cameron next as Triple M rocks football. Well, helping for Jezza.
It was.
Should have been a 5 or a 6er.
Yes.
What happened, Jez?
I don't know. I seem to miss the easy ones at the moment. But, yeah, all part of it. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day when you get the win.
No, it does matter. And those ones from the boundary, because we are down waiting to do the pre-record hosting stuff with Seven. So we all stand right behind you, Jez. Those ones from 45. You flush every single one of them. They all go sailing straight through the middle. So in the call, we just had that one in the book.
I know, and it's happened the last few weeks. It seems to be happening. I'm kicking them at training. Like I'm putting in a bit more time because I have been a little bit inaccurate, and I seem to kick them at training, but just not to seal the game. So I was more concerned about the one 20 metres out right in front that I missed. But
Yes.
we got a bit of time in the season yet to straighten up.
Didn't you blame the boots?
Yeah, well, I'm wearing the parrot. That's for the Olympics. All the athletes over there that are ASICS athletes are going to be wearing those that coloured boot, and I thought I'd whip them out, but they've kicked a lot of points recently, so might have to go back to the original white ones.
You didn't look happy with the ball either to me, Jez. You're giving it a squeeze. It wasn't looking happy. You weren't looking happy with it.
He always does that. Why do you do that,
Nah.
Jez?
How did
The balls are just so pointy. I'm not happy with them. So it's a lot easier when it's rounded off, and if you squeeze it hard enough, it seems to put it. Well, in my mind, it rounds it off a little bit. I always kick it on the most rounded side, but it helps me sometimes. And as you saw last night, I just got to kick those ones sometimes. But all in all, it was a good night.
Yeah, congratulations, Jez. Clear plan last night. We saw Essendon do it last week. That uncontested possession, uncontested mark. Just keep the ball off of Collingwood. Seems to be working. That worked beautifully.
Yeah, it sort of panned out that way, didn't it? We actually thought that the way that Essendon did it the week before, that the Pies would probably clamp down on that a bit, and then we'd have to adjust to the way we want to play. And I think that's what's great about the side. We can adjust on the fly, and the coaching staff, are right on top of that. So, it sort of worked out that way, and it was a little bit interesting being forward of the footy. We were switching it, then switching it back, then switching it back, and you're running a lot of sort of junk meters in front of the footy, but it seemed to work on the night, and we're not going to play like that every week, but, it's nice to go to that mode if we have to.
Jez, you won a premiership in the eyes of many out of nowhere 2 seasons ago, and then you started well this year, fell away for the next 7 weeks, and you've regrouped again. Can you actually do it again for the second time inside 3 seasons, out of nowhere, in the eyes of the public?
Yeah, from the outside it probably looks like that, but on the inside we're really bullish around what we can do, and we're excited. We know that if we play the brand of football that we know we can beat anyone on any given day. So we've got a lot of belief. There's a lot of youth, and there's a fair few guys that weren't in that side, a few years ago, and they're really eager to go all the way. It's just keeping up that confidence. I think we did have a bit of a lull there for 5 or 6 weeks in the mid section of the season, but keeping the confidence in the young guys and just letting them know that it will turn, and it can turn quickly, and we've seen that in the last few weeks. So we're excited for the back end of the season.
You mentioned the youth, but one of the oldies is still as crucial as ever, I would argue, and I'm referring to Paddy Dangerfield, who's returned to the team, and no coincidence that it's found its mojo again with him steaming through.
Yeah, for sure. We know what Paddy brings. It's just the way he plays. He's so powerful, and it just has that will and desire to just dive on the footy and win it and rip it out and give it to guys on the outside to use. And he bursts around. He almost looks at the guy on the mark sometimes and just runs around him for fun. I'm not always sure where the footy's going, but it's nice to have in the side, and it brings us great balance and experience for the younger guys like Jai Clark and the other brigade in there.
Hey, were you surprised, Jezza, to see Quaynor come up and shake your hand and stand next to you?
Yeah, I was, Bill. I actually was. I didn't plan for that at all. I don't put a hell of a lot of time into planning.
I wouldn't have thought.
Bill, this show.
It didn't really come across me at all. I was talking to Rails, our forward line coach. I'm like, I'm just going to get Darcy Moore, aren't I? And he seemed to think that was it, and it was different. He definitely got given the role probably early on the week, and he's just he was just trying to body me up and annoy me more than anything throughout the game. And he sort of, I let him sort of just get his own way, I guess, in the first quarter. I don't think I touched it, and then
no, you didn't. No.
Thanks for that, Bill.
2 goals.
But it sort of drives me a little bit more in a weird way, like when guys want to play that way and niggle. It just makes me want to kick goals more. So it got me going.
Bloody anything. Well, we saw it last week too. You're having a bit of a howdy do with the Quaynor, but last week with GF too. There was a bit going on with him. What are you doing? You're getting a bit fired up, Jezza.
It's been a while between being fired up. I used to give away a few fines and whatnot back in the day, and it's been too long. So just trying to find a few ways to get into the game, and if you can get under the skin of the young fellas, last week I was getting called old, and I didn't really like that. I like to think that I'm still, young at heart, but I guess I am aging. But it's all in good fun. They're quality players, and they've got a role to play, and so do I.
Jez, speaking of young, Lawson Humphreys comes from a joint called Wickham, which is just outside Roebourne. I drove from Broome to Perth once with my kids and had to refill the car in Roebourne. Jez, it is in the middle of nowhere. It's just a petrol station, and that's it.
It is, yeah. It's a long way from here. He's had his family coming over, and I think a lot of them were on holidays. A couple of them were in Bali. There was people coming from absolutely everywhere to watch his first game, and I think a few stayed around for a while. And we've been lucky enough to find another one in Lawson. Like, he's a credit to the club and the guys that go out, and it's Wellesley and Mac and all those guys that go and find these players, because we still don't know. He actually doesn't know if he's left or right footed. Yeah. Like, you ask him that question, and I thought he was a right footer,
So
and then
do
he
I.
started
So do I.
kicking out his first day at training on his left, and I'm like, hang on, what's going on here?
Jez, he
Like,
was
that's-
playing in the reserves for Swan Districts.
Yeah, he
He's
was.
playing waffle
Yeah.
reserves.
So how
Yeah.
you found him? Who did actually find him?
Oh, I got no idea. I don't. Yeah, I definitely didn't. But he just is so classy. We've seen. You know, he goes back. He's got courage. It's more of his ball use both sides off half back, but he's really clean at
95%
ground
last
level
night.
as well.
Yeah, I love him.
And the more the game rolls on, the more impact he has. So, you know, when there's a few more tired bodies out there. So, yeah, he's a beauty.
Courageous too. Ran back, took a good mark.
Yeah, Jez just said that.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Twice,
listening.
I
Hey, what about we're speaking to Jeremy Cameron, the Contra King. So when you see his YouTube
Yes.
or
Yeah.
he's got the Kubota, which gets a good
Yeah,
run,
yeah,
and the
yeah.
John Deere and caravans, I reckon too.
Yeah.
Jezza.
No, I don't want to go into that too much, Bill. But in saying that, the titanium caravan, I tell you what, if you're ever thinking about going to buy a van, they're the only one you should be looking at. But it's something I obviously love. I can't wait to get away in the off season. You know, I definitely want to play finals, and that's first and foremost. But when you do, I've learnt last year when you miss finals, you actually get another month to travel and get in the caravan. It's good for caravanning, but not so good for footy. So Scotty probably won't like me saying that. I am focused on making finals and going a long way. But
Great friends of ours, Jez, by the way.
That's right.
Titanium Caravan.
Scoreboard.
they are the Triple M titanium scoreboard. It's going to be on this afternoon in the shed. I've got a little bit of a clean up here today.
Who you got out there? Who's coming out?
What are we cleaning?
I've got a mate. He's just moved in on the block up at the top house, and he's going to wander down. We'll watch
Top house?
listen to a bit of footy, and
Top house.
How
it's a
many
little
houses?
shack up the top. He's moved in, and he's a ripper. But yeah, no,
He's a
I
ripper.
need to clean up the shed, so we'll have a few lemonades and do that.
There's a level of intrigue as to what you do on that farm.
Yeah.
How do you spend a Friday night after a match? Did you get any sleep? What'd you get up to?
Yes.
No, I was planning on getting a little. I don't normally sleep too well after late games like that, but we got home at 1, and I was actually pretty tired, so tried to roll in the bed, but the little one just heard me creeping down the passageway and was just up. I got her back to sleep at, I think, 5:45 this morning. So,
Oh, no.
nice late one, but yeah, she's good fun, and I can't be mad. She's, especially after a win, like, how can you be mad on a Friday? You know, we got the whole weekend to sleep in now.
Jez, I was shattered last night. I was driving home, and I know the Scottish Open's on, which is one of my favourite tournaments of the year. A really good field and a great course. So I'm thinking, I'm going to get a little glass of red. I'm going to watch about an hour and a half of the Scottish Open, and then I'm going to bed. And my wife, Jez, had Wimbledon on and refused to let me change the channel. So I got men's tennis, which I couldn't give a stuff about.
Who wears the pants?
On Alcaraz and some Medvedev or someone.
Medvedev.
And Jez, I couldn't watch my
Medvedev.
golf.
That is flattening, I tell you what. But surely you've got 2 televisions
Yes,
in that
Jim.
house
Yeah.
of yours.
Yeah, I have, but I couldn't.
Oh,
If
get
you
out of
walk
bed.
in and she's still awake,
You want the
you
main one, don't you? You need the main one.
You need the main telly.
Jim, surely you get the
But,
remote and say, I'm the
No, I don't.
I'm the boss.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah. Well, knowing Lisa, yeah. You just shut up.
Hey, I'll tell you what Geelong do have.
What do they do?
And that is a very good run the next few weeks. They've
Very
got
good.
the Bulldogs at home, North Melbourne, and then
what are you trying to say?
Adelaide.
You gotta
back
win
at
'em.
home again. I know you got to win them, but 2 at home. All teams in the bottom 8. 2 of them in the bottom 4.
Just 1 week at a time, I would have thought, Jez.
Oh, you're playing A again, Bill.
Hey, Jez, who wins Geelong's best and fairest right now? Would it be Max Holmes?
Yeah, it would be Max Holmes. Yeah. I would
Interesting.
say, you know, there's a lot of guys that Zach Guthrie down back's been really good too, and he was on fire early. There's quite a few, but Maxie's had probably the most consistent season. You know, we love the way he's come onto it. He's got that raw power that Danger has as well, and he sort of becomes that 70, 80 metre player for us. So he's only getting better and better. But yeah, we got an interesting sort of run home, like you said. There's no easy games in there, and we have to play our best footy starting next week. I don't even know who we got. Who we have.
Western
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs, Saturday
We've
night.
got the Bulldogs at home. So yeah, it's you know, we know that at their best they can play some really red hot footy. So we got to be on.
And it's retro game too. So you're going back in time. The Cats are stepping back 100 years to celebrate a Geelong great. Cargie Greaves won the Brownlow 100 years ago. So it's the retro game with the retro jumpers. Jezza?
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. We had the retro photo shoot the other week, and some of the boys have got their moustaches out. Reg Tui features heavily in that sort of stuff, doesn't he? But yeah, it's another good one for the Cattery. So if you're out there and thinking about coming along, let's get along and sell it out again.
Have you caught up with Hawk? Jez, how's he going?
Yeah, he's going really well. He's at training. He's actually like in the heat room every single time I see him, working hard and making sure that he's giving himself every opportunity. And you know, it's actually incredible when you think about how long his career's been. It's very, it could be very easy to just say, no, you know what, I've had a good run at it, and call it a day. But he's working so hard, and that rubs off on the younger guys, and even the experienced guys like myself. Seeing that makes you want to work harder. So he's going really well and in great spirits, as we know he is anyway.
All right, you're a bloody star.
Yes.
We love watching you play footy. Well played last night. Enjoy the weekend.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me on. Have a good one.
He's a star.
I'll tell you why I love him. He reminds me of Richo. Remember when we used to watch Richo? He had no idea what he's going to do. Literally had no clue.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what made him the most watchable player in footy.
Yep.
And Jez is like that. You don't know where he's going or what he's doing.
What he's
Doesn't
doing.
have as many dummy spits as Richo.
No, he's
No.
probably not as volatile as Big Cho
more
was.
accurate. But he's accurate. He's very laconic, isn't he? The way he kind of glides across the ground.
A few lemonades this afternoon with his mate,
I don't
who will
think-
come down from the top shed.
Well, they'll be shandies.
They're just cleaning a shed.
Yeah. Well, he's got a big shed there.
It's code for something in
And
the
what
booth.
about top house, bottom house, middle house,
That's a farm.
left
big
house,
farm.
right house,
How far is his joint
Shit
from Hawks?
outhouse?
So he's more out Torquay way and
Right.
Hawks out Series
Series,
way.
right.
So it's not far. Like if
Reece Stanley's out there as well.
Reese's. You'd love to know who the best farmer is, because Reece would have no idea.
No
idea. He wears the R.M. Williams and the...
Well, Chris Scott's a farmer now too, isn't he?
Well, he's out that way, but I don't think he's got a farm.
All the players at Geelong think they're farmers.
Well, Jez has come from a farming background,
Yeah.
Dartmoor,
Yeah.
and so has Hawk
Well,
at
Hawk
Finley.
just does what his old man says.
Yeah,
His old
exactly.
man rings him
Jumping
and says,
jack.
time to move the cows.
So those two, but I'm not sure about Big Reece as a farmer.
All right, Nuff.
Yes.
Dermot's one. Brereton.
I did see Brad.
Brereton's one at Doomben.
We are off to a break. Nuff Nuff coming up next. Hard Yakka Workwear, McDonald's, and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Roxford. Studios in South Melbourne. We've got the rub going, and then we're going to be ripping into Freo
Oh, yes,
and
Jim.
Hawthorn
Good game.
in Launceston. And Fat's doing special Well, they won't be special.
Yes, so
You're just doing comments.
Please don't, when you throw to me, don't say for special comments. Just say comments.
Comments.
Or,
Yeah, that would be better for you.
Observations.
Are you going to see out the
Observations.
game?
Right.
You're going to be there the whole time?
Well, it depends. I'll get a bit. Well,
Get
if I'm
thirsty?
alive in the quaddie, I might just.
Have we
Jim.
got Tubesy?
Yes.
Tubesy on the boundary.
Yes.
Speaking of staying there for the whole game,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. He
buggers off
buggered
too.
off
Does he?
three-quarter
he
time.
was on the boundary for us last time.
he have a
and
cash that he
he
gets
went
to?
We went at three-quarter time to a reunion.
Oh, I
he
like
did a
him.
U.
He
A
did.
reunion
just
he wasn't
took off
part
like
of.
you, Fat.
Skipped
All right.
him.
Hit it, Hose.
I told you, homeboy. It's Nuff time.
I eat grass and a moo all day. I'm a cow moo.
Can't touch this.
Triple M football Saturday afternoon, noon team to 7. How am I in there? Wasn't even on air last week.
And Stone. Thanks, fellas. That's what you call enough.
Come on, Jim.
Triple M rocks footy. Drink it.
Oh, the Wiggles, that's my favourite, Hose. You know that.
I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, you had nothing to do with it.
with that. I hadn't heard it.
No?
I wasn't even on air last week.
No, that's why DC did it. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
we needed more of you.
I actually went to the Wiggles and told them that was my favourite song. I think they were a bit annoyed.
Made a few
I
mistakes.
think they thought they'd done better work than I eat grass and I moo all day. I'm a cow.
That's
moo.
their worst song, and you'll sing it
No,
to
I love it.
yeah.
That's the end of the
Yeah,
song
moo.
too. There's no other words.
No,
All right, let's go,
That
Bernard.
was just a little welcome back, Jim.
Good,
So,
like it.
just involve you, get you away
Welcome
early.
back.
Abby Holmes, now
Oh,
not
doesn't
often
do a
in
lot
here,
wrong
not
abs.
often in here.
Gee, well,
She is very good,
this
Bill.
want to be good, Bernie.
It is good because when I see it, we need to call it out. Doesn't matter how good you normally are, she just loses her train of thought here.
And the umpire to ball it up. Bob Jane teammates, Abby.
Yeah, Kate, what am I saying? Clayton Oliver has just come to the bench.
Not a bad one.
No, it's not. It's hardly
Well
a
done. She helped us out on the rush hour last night.
Good.
And so did you, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and Ab come
Helped out
in.
on your own show.
I know.
Well, you were
that
on
work?
holidays.
I was on holidays.
And
Limo.
Limo couldn't make it, and then Jim jumped in, and so did Ab.
Well, he was meant to make it. He just didn't get there
Didn't
in
get
time.
there in time.
Just priorities weren't where they probably should have been. Hey, Stevie J.
Oh, thank you, Boone.
Yes.
Stevie
Oh,
J.
what's he done?
Stephen.
I'll tell you what
is he
Stephen
funny?
shouldn't do.
Talk?
Try being funny and wear that white jumper again.
Oh, no, I saw it. I saw it.
I thought it was a blimp.
And that reminded
is fat
me
talking.
from him. Yeah, a blimp. Well done again. A different jumper. Different jumper.
I
got
thought of
rid
you
the
this
Audit.
morning. When I had me,
Every time he
when I
comes
had me
in to
Audit
run,
on this morning, I had to run back
Oh,
inside.
no, get something else.
He had that again.
And you were grimace last week.
Well,
Yeah, thank you.
here's his,
Old.
here's his attempt to be funny using the fox analogy.
It's pretty cunning, old Robbie. He won the foxtrot.
That's really bad.
He won the fox. He knows the foxtrot's a dance.
Yeah, a dance.
Or dance. Or
As
whatever
you
wanna
say.
call it. It's
You'd
not
say
a race.
dance.
It's
You
not-
two
I
would say dance.
I say dance.
Dance and
Just
France
chance.
and chance.
Chance and Grant.
Yes.
And he was doing very well here, Stevie J, until he had to come up with, well, I think a descriptive word, and then he just went. He went to water.
We spoke about Marshall v Grundy before this game. That's how he needs to try and test him. He needs to test Grundy, push forward and try and hit the scoreboard, and kicking one early will do his confidence a lot of good. The world of good. The world of good. That's a traditional phrase.
A world of
Someone
good.
told him in the background. Did you hear it? Someone said, a world of good. A world of good. Very good from Stevie J. Joey Montagna. He's been in here a couple of times. He just gets... When
He doesn't like being in here.
No, he doesn't.
No,
That's
and
right.
he'll dirty up on you.
That's why I enjoy it. I enjoy these
The
sort
wombat.
of people. Wombat. Just gets his words mixed up when he's trying to do certain sayings, and he's done it again.
I was going to say that, Charlie. It was Pete Wayne Carey there for a while with Sam Day, wasn't it? It's probably the first time, to be fair, because you have been in super form, that you had your lowers coloured at half-time. How did you handle that?
Lowers coloured. That's not good, Joey. Come on.
Not that bad.
David Zaharakis as well.
Zaka.
Zaka, yeah.
He's a triathlete now.
He's
Good
looking
one
very
too.
fit. He's a specimen, actually. There's a few sayings he tries to pull out here or combines that, well, he doesn't get right.
Sammy Durham, he's hard as a cut snake. He's unbelievable.
So what are the sayings he mixed up there, Bill?
Well, hard as a cat's head.
And
And mad as a cut snake.
Yeah, good.
You took some time over that.
You're in trouble
You
there.
took some time over that, Fat.
Move on.
You were in trouble, and it just got to you.
You could hear the cogs just rolling through there, couldn't you?
The mouse on
He
the
got there,
treadmill up
though.
there's got...
What did I do, Damo?
You got there.
Thank you.
Yeah, just. Speaking of rattled, Ethan Meldrum.
Oh, no.
No. Ash Chewer's been
He's always
ordinary too
rattled.
lately. And
No,
I
Ash
think
has been calling.
I know.
Yeah,
he's
so it
actually
must have
going
put the
well
pressure
there.
back on him.
A lot of pressure on Heath. Well, at least we're calling him Heath. He's been called all sorts. But he was certainly rattled here when asked the question.
Choice Hotels, Heath. What's happening after this one?
Straight after this, on the around the grounds, two big clashes. I'm just trying to figure it out. GWS beat Carlton up in Sydney. Huge clash, that one. Fremantle v Richmond from Perth as well.
I feel like I've rattled you a little bit.
Remix there.
Not good, Heath. Need to get better than that. Moving on. Wasn't that bad? No, that was bad.
Jack Heverin there, the Newtoner.
If that wasn't
Calling today, Jackie.
yes, if that
Is he
wasn't-
with us?
Yep. So keep going, Bono.
Oh no, why? I know. What's wrong with Jack?
What's wrong with Jack?
Oh, he's small and I'm not sure about him.
He looks a bit like you, Bill.
A little mini me.
Little finger in the mouth. Speaking of bad, if you don't think that was bad, this is bad. Now, Pee-wee, this is during the quiz. First of all, I don't think you remember Errol Goulden's name, so you just go with the last name, and then the next one, I don't know who you're talking about. You're going to have to tell me.
Which of these players was not drafted via the Sydney Swans Academy? Not drafted. Goulden, Oral Florent, whatever his name is. Isaac Heaney, Sam Wicks, or Callum Mills?
Oral Florent.
Ollie Florent. It's French.
Oral.
Oh, I think I want to hear that one again.
Oral Florent.
Oral.
Good player. Number 13.
O-R-A-L. Is that how you Spelling it?
Florent.
Is he French as well? Florent.
Oral Florent.
Oh, my God.
It gets better every time. I've listened to that 200 times this week.
Quiz was good last week, Jim.
No, it doesn't sound like
No,
it.
it wasn't at all. It took... I don't think we finished it.
Nathan didn't like it.
No, he didn't.
Brownie.
Nah.
He said he thought it was the loosest show he'd been on last
He
week.
walked out rattled.
Our show last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty loose.
Well, if you're saying that, Hose.
Yeah.
If you're calling players oral, that's loose.
And he liked a horse called Pounding.
I took
Poor
that
Quinny
out.
didn't quite know what to do.
You
He's
like
not
that
on
joke.
this week. He's that rattled.
I got
He's been
another
given a
one
week
today.
off. Week in the VFL. Isaac Smith.
Is he?
Playing for Bunyip today? We might even
Is-
try and speak
Yep.
to him a
Yeah,
bit
we
later.
will.
Mythical creature.
He's heading out there. They're playing I don't know who they're playing.
We'll get to that.
Oh, listen to Bernie. Don't worry, it'll all come out, Bernie. Just
sure
tease.
they're playing another team.
Just tease, but don't tell the whole lot.
When
got
Fat's running with Kraft, you know we've derailed.
Bernie.
Just tease. See how if in
Bernie's
doubt,
gone with the whole interview.
if in doubt, get out.
What interview?
Just stop, and I'll stop.
The interview.
And I've had a bit of trouble doing this year as well.
Have you?
Eating while on air.
Yep.
This is at least I didn't get thrown to. I just dropped pile over myself. But Isaac Smith gets thrown to while eating, Bill.
Oscar Allen still yet to have a disposal. Picks it up on the wing. He's tackled straight away.
He should have just sandballed that up in the air, Jack.
Say that again, Ish.
What did you just say?
He's got a mouthful of
That's a great
sandwich.
sandwich.
What sort of craft is that? We're on air.
Get it in you.
You know, it sounded like Dennis Cometti's
It
son.
did.
Have we got him? What's his name?
Bobbing up and down.
Mark.
Here we go. This is Izzy.
He should have just sandballed that up in the air, Jack.
Have we got
It's a rare unit.
I'll try and
Is,
find
he
some.
does
Try and
not
find Mark
care.
Cometti.
No,
he doesn't. Not
Doesn't
one
give
bit.
us stuff.
Which is why he fits in very well
he
with
does.
Triple M.
Now hit it, please, Hose.
Nuff of the week.
I was mates with this guy for a while, but he's all yours now, Jim. Greg blew it.
Oh,
He's all
no,
yours.
not again.
I can't put my name to his name anymore. It's
No.
you, and you need to deal with this and talk to him and train him or whatever he needs to do. Is there a talking school or
What is he
memory or
doing?
brain school? Whatever you need to do, do it for him,
When
please.
you speak to him, he's so articulate.
He is.
So articulate.
And he's got better. He's actually going well. Well, sorry. He was.
You wouldn't have heard a thing he's done.
When did you last listen to him?
When he was down the boundary and he couldn't get out there. But I think he's
Tyson
improved.
Devil.
I like to listen to all the special comments.
Oh, do you?
You're doing
well,
it
he
today.
doesn't do
Because I'm
special
doing
comments, so
All right.
you would have heard him. But anyway, I asked him a question, Jim, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I gave him a range of where to guess where this number had to be, and he had to get within 20 and listen carefully.
It's in between 50 and 150 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll say it took him 240 hours.
Jim,
He's
Jim,
got
you
to be
might have
better
to have a
than
word
that.
to him.
He's got to be better than that.
Between 50 and 150. What did he say? 240.
So 100. I'm going to say 100. Is that close?
It was 92.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
How can he say 240?
I don't know. Well, that's just why I'm getting to. He's got an issue, and I'm not putting my name to it.
So that was
anymore.
Nuff of the Week worthy.
No.
Oh,
There's
there's
more.
more.
No, that was just a little
It's an entree.
tease. Entree. Not even entree yet. This is probably the entree. He's talking
Nice.
about
Little starter.
Ken Hinkley here. This is only 2 of 4 I've got today for him.
This is what Kenny Hinkley.
No, away you go. Hope.
This is what Kenny Hinkley said about the pressure. Has it lifted, I should say.
There's his first muck up, and then we're talking about the General Havelock has changed hands or for sale.
The have a look as it used to
The
be
Have a
called
Look.
back in the day.
What is that, a pub?
That's a pub
For us Victorians.
Hutt Street in the city.
Yes.
Very good Thursday night, Saturday night used to be. Going back probably
Dancing
15,
on the bar
20.
back in the day. She was
And
on
it's
for young and
called
old.
The Havelock
Your eyes
Hotel.
are lighting up too much. You're
yeah,
about memories
That
of this
was
hotel, Jim.
back in the day.
Have a look.
My goodness.
And very
Jim did
classy women
Yeah,
there,
very good.
Bill. So you wouldn't have done it. It wouldn't have been your venue. You're more the casino.
Maybe just
or
get to the grand
firm or
Old drink cards Brownless would have
Straighten
gone
up,
right.
firm. Anyway, we're talking about that. He just got his pubs and papers mixed up, boy.
What pub or venue do you miss off the back of, well, it was in the pub today. I was getting pub and paper mixed up.
In the pub today, in the paper today, he was meant to say. And then this one here, Bill, Say AFL for me.
AFL.
Pretty easy.
AFL. AFL.
Yeah, there's a few
Again,
different versions
look how
of it.
carefully you're saying it.
He wrote it down as well.
Oh, my God.
To get the order right. Well, maybe that's what Bluey should do.
What AFL team?
I don't know. I don't know.
Where's he at?
I don't know what's happening. Well, Jars has been away on holiday this week, so he's had to talk a little bit more. I don't know if that's to put pressure on him or what's going on.
And since you asked him to present the rings at your wedding, I reckon.
Yeah.
It must have
I
been
don't know
guess
where-
what?
I don't know what's
He
happening.
wasn't allowed no talking. Just come up and present
He
the
wasn't
ring.
allowed to either, was
No
he?
talk.
Yes,
No talk.
he had a speech ready as well.
He did too.
No,
He
no,
had
no,
instructions,
no,
don't
no.
talk.
Tyson Hempel, no, thanks.
I don't know what's going on. Nuff of the week.
Yes, Nuff again.
That's
3 or 4 times this year already.
Isaac, there you go. You can have that. That's for next week. Is it Isaac Smith next host? Is what I was going to say. Isaac Smith is going to join us next. You can have that. That's a gift to you for next week. Hard Yakka Workwear, McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks Footy.
Go together.
Yes, welcome back. The Richard Marsden Studios here in South Melbourne for Hard Yakka, McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, the Saturday Rub, flying along.
Been a good
And
show.
It was unbelievable. Amazing what happens when you get the main man back. When you take the role away from Fat, who's clueless, and give it to someone who's got half an idea.
And it's good to have Bernie in the
Bernie's a
studio
star,
instead
of
of
course.
having tape over his camera.
All right, we need to function on the Carlton draft because Bunyip is the venue today.
Bunyip.
Shane Mumford is playing in this game,
Oh,
along
barbecue.
with our man Isaac Smith. Now, best as I can work out, Smithy, the last game of footy you played a Norm Smith medal?
No, I played one more year. I think I had, 36.
What are we expecting today from you, please?
Well, I said I'd be disappointed with under 4 goals and under 40 touches. I reckon I can go a goal and 10 touches a quarter.
Where are you playing?
Bunyip. And I can't get in here, Bill. There's cars everywhere.
Well, no, of course they
Bunyip,
are.
you idiot.
What position are you playing, Isaac, you idiot?
They sent through that I'm right in the middle of the gut, so I'm just I'm using Mummy as a personal security guard.
And there's that Candace I can hear.
It is Candace.
Oh,
She's trying to direct me because I don't think Bunyip has seen this many people.
Bill's research for this interview was Googling the word bunyip. And what is it, Bill?
A mythical animal. Come up on the Wikipedia.
What colour?
What type of animal?
Well, it's
It's mythical.
It's mythical.
It's like somewhere between a rabbit and a sort of
bunyip.
hare, isn't it, or something like
I
that?
thought they were bigger.
Yeah,
No,
you might be right. You looked that up,
Loch
Hutch.
Ness Monster, I thought.
Now, Smithy, are you expecting some physical treatment from the opposition?
Yep.
Well, I've got a few messages off some people in the industry, and they've said, run at 70%, don't jump, and don't go near a contest, and you'll be fine.
Pretty much how you played your whole career.
Oh, Damo! Bang!
Hot dog stand, Damo.
You've been sitting on that for 15 years.
No, where's we touched off the top? Jim thinks I'm genuinely, hugely funny. This is.
Hugely funny. Hey,
No, it'll be a bit of fun because I got a couple of messages off Garfield players last night telling me to watch my back. So
Garfield.
uh,
Garfield's playing bunyip. Two mythical creatures playing each other.
Throwing bloody Fred Flintstone.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't worry about the game.
no.
Just get through the game, do whatever you need to do. But what about after? I struggled to get out of Maryborough after I played.
Oh, yeah.
well, I don't look as good as you, Bernie, so I should be all right. We've got a function.
Cashy.
With Carlton draft to put on. I'm sure Mummy will drink plenty of the product, and I've got a private driver booked to get me back to Melbourne tonight at some point, which will be good.
Well, you're flicking Candace.
She'll
Yeah,
be.
well, she's taking the kids home.
Right.
Good
Are
girl.
you planning
Good
to
call.
hit the scoreboard, Smithy? Because Bernard, I
Oh.
think, bagged 8
8.
in
Yeah.
his
Eight.
appearance.
Eight.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know what league this is. I think it's Gippsland League, and I'm not sure what the quality of footy like. I know playing for Maryborough, that would have been a piece of piss. But
Very, very good standard. Sort of VFL, sort
rubbish.
of slash.
I tell you
VAFA.
what, if they have a barbecue there today, old Mummy,
Yep.
he'll just get the
He
snifter.
will.
And he'll be over there eating sausages like you will not believe.
You might eat a kid.
Oh, what about that bunyip taken on cuff?
Speaking of taking the piss, that's surely taking the piss.
Oh, come on.
Charlie, you've at least dragged a nice day looking out the window here.
No, as soon as we got past Pakenham, it turned to shit.
So you've spoken to the coach. I only spoke to the coach when I got there. You've got any instructions, or are you just going to do what you want?
Haven't spoken to the coach. The president rang me the other day and said, "Can you get a bit of Geelong memorabilia? We need to do." So I ducked down there yesterday and grabbed a couple of things that they can sell off. But no, coming in eyes wide open. So due at midday, and I'm sure they've got a big day planned.
And how's the campaign that we've launched on your behalf about being the rising star in the media this year going?
He has.
I'm not sure, Purple. As you said, you guys have launched it. I have no idea.
A rocket. I think it's going pretty well.
Actually, he's running with it. Don't worry about that.
Have you got any wheels left, or have you gone to see Jimmy Tansey and said, "Jimmy, I need some boots"?
I rolled into Adidas on Thursday, and they've given me Copers and Predators, so I'm just not sure which ones I'm going to run today. But no, I had no boots in the house. I tried to flog them all off at a few functions, Bill.
They'll auction them off after the game, so maybe wear one pair in the first half, another pair in the second half, make some more money for the club.
You keep one pair and the club gets one pair.
Why would you want to keep your pair playing for Buddy, the Flintstones, or whatever he's playing for?
To sell. They still got the Copers, still running around with the Copers.
Copa Monday up.
Yeah, old man boots, Bill.
They are. I wore them.
Or the World Cups?
The World
screw-ins. I love it. All right, Smithy,
Good
go
on you, Isaac.
Now, Isaac, you're representing us. You
Yes.
realise
Yeah.
that. So when
Good
you're
point.
out there, you're representing the Saturday Rub.
Good point.
Rightio. I'll do my best, and I'll try and be very selfish with ball in hand.
Yeah, don't do a Kane Corns. 6 possessions.
All right, well done. Good luck.
No worries. Thank you. Enjoy, boys.
See you, mate.
There he is.